Hey guys, it's Wendy here with Wendy's Plans, and today I wanted to bring you a video on the new products that I got from Hobonichi, how I intend to use them, what my thoughts are, and all of that. So guys, stick around. Okay, so the first thing I want to go over, because it's the newest addition to Hobonichi, is the Han. Now, I am going to say I bought this cover several years ago, at least 3 years ago, I would say. And I have always loved this cover. I've used it at work. I have used it as my planner cover for a couple years in with my Avec. I love this cover. I wasn't sure if the Han would fit in here, but it does. Even when I used it as my cousin cover, I only use it with half of it in here. Same thing that I do for my weeks, because they get so bulky when you use stickers. My plan is not to use a whole lot of stickers in here. There will be some. But I'm going to show you a close-up view so you can see it. If you see here, the book goes to the very edge of where it can go to. It's not cutting into the seam. And on this one here, right here is where my thumb is. This is the stitching here and back about, I would say, 1/16 of an inch on each side is where it is going in. And that is with the cover, the plastic clear cover that's on there. If I took this off, it would go in not a problem at all. This slipped right in. I didn't force it. I just had to line it up very carefully to get it in, and I'm trying to see, it goes all the way in. I thought for some reason that I had not pushed it in as all the way, but I did. I'm probably not going to use the bookmarks. Other than that, it fits in this cover, and I have two snaps. So if I put it on the last snap, makes it the tightest it can be, I still have room in this planner. If I have room on each side. If I put it in the loosest fitting, this planner has so much room in it, guys, this cover. So for me, this cover works. I know most of the covers that Hobonichi has probably will not fit. It just popped in my brain is that I believe they had this same cover in the 5-year A5, and I believe the A5 5-year would probably fit. Now the difference is going to be you're not going to get all these pockets, which I really don't care if the pockets are there. Honestly, I don't really use them. Even in this one, I have some stuff in there that is just taking up room. It's not that I want it in there. It's not that I use it in there. It just is what it is, guys. I This is the way I choose to set up my planners. Everybody has their own style. Everybody wants to do their own thing with their planner, and everybody, that's what you need to do. I love this floral. I'm going to tell you in my unboxing, and I will leave the unboxing up at the top. The minute I had this in my hand, I knew I had made the right decision. It just felt right. This planner is just for me, for what I'm going to use it for, and we are going to get to that. What I'm going to use it for, I think this is the right thing. Now, this is going to be my plan. Is this is going to be my travel notebook. Um, I do have, I thought I had it with me and I don't. I do have a Lexstrom A5 planner, and I'll leave that video up there too, that I showed you how I was going to plan out um, all 50 states, things I wanted to see, things I want to do, so that when I get to a state, I can just look at it and say, this is where I want to go next. And then I have stuff planned out. So my goal is to take that reference journal and use it in conjunction with this planner. So my thought process is I'm kind of thinking these pages are going to be for me to track mileage, not daily mileage. But if I'm driving for multiple days, then yes, it would track that. But my goal is not to travel for multiple days, is to go to the next place and be there within that day. So when I am traveling, I will track my mileage probably daily, but I will also track my mileage by my gas usage, if that makes any sense. So I'm thinking this is what this is going to be used for. The calendar pages are going to be used. Guys, I've got my list right here of stuff that I want to tell you, and I'm trying to do it without looking at it. The biggest thing that these are going to be used for is to tell me when I need to check in to an Airbnb, a hotel, wherever I'm going to be, when I need to check in, when I need to check out. So when I'm planning, I've got, let's say I've got reservations someplace in January, and I need to know what day do I need to arrive and what is the check-in time. Let's say I have to be there the 3rd. That is not what's going to happen. I'm not even going to start traveling until February. So let's say I'm going to be there the 3rd and I have to be out on the 31st. When I am looking to book for February, I need to know I'm going to leave on the 31st. I need some place to stay on the 1st. And when I book the 1st, when I'm going to stay, because maybe I check in on the 1st, but I have to be out by the 25th because they are already booked. I mean, there are limitations to how long you can stay in a place. Then I need to know, when I'm booking this, in February, or in January, let's say, if I'm calling to make that booking, I need to know when I need to be out, when I'm going someplace. And then if I'm in January and I'm booking someplace for March, I need to know, okay, I'm going to be out on the 25th. So when I book for March, I need to find some place to be on the 26th and when I'm going to be out in March. So I need that information, so it's right there at my fingertips. I know I'm not explaining that correctly. But those are some of the things. Other things that I'm going to use this for is my social media. So on the same monthly setup, I want to be able to say, I am going to have a YouTube video on these days. And I am going to post an Instagram post on these days. So it's going to be kind of a travel social media, that kind of planner. The next thing that I'm going to do is when I get to my weeklies, these are going to be, I'm going to sit down and I am going to plan out what I'm going to do for those days. So, like, if I get someplace and I'm there on January 1st, what am I going to do on January 1st? I have no idea. I've got all this list of things that, I want to see and I want to do. So, this is going to help me. Guys, it's raining. It's fixing to get really dark, and I am so sorry. I hope you can see. There's enough light to see, but it might get a little bit darker. But my goal is to plan things out here. So this is where I'm going to track um, gas. I had to stop and get gas. I had this expense. I had that expense, depending on what the expenses are, because there's still going to be oil changes and um, maintenance and tune ups and all of that stuff that I need to track on my car, because that's going to be the one thing that I'm going to be putting a lot of miles on. So this is going to help me keep track of that. This is also going to help me keep track of the confirmations, not just the dates I go in and come out, but my confirmation numbers, who my contact people are if I'm staying in an Airbnb. It's going to help me know that on the 4th, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to film videos. And these are the videos that I'm going to film. And this is the footage I have for that. Um, I'm going to plan out the posts that I want on Instagram. So all of that stuff is going to be on these days. And so when I get back to my dailies, I want to be able to look at the first and say, okay, on the first, which we're just going to, let's just go to January 1st so I don't confuse anybody. But on the first, I'm going to look at this day and I'm going to say, this is where I need to be. So in here, I'm going to use it just, and I did bring my other planner so I can show you how I'm using it now. So my thought process is I am going to do things similar to the way I do it here with a check off and here. But now the difference is going to be, I am going to still use this line, but I'm going to say I am in Texas and I need to be in Oklahoma. So I'm going to put my starting destination in destination, how many miles that's going to be. And then in my section here, I'm going to write down my confirmation number for, again, of where I'm going to be, who my hosts are, um, who the contact person, all of that information is also going to be, if it's a multi-day drive, because state of Texas is huge. So if it's a couple of days drive, then I am going to say, this is where I'm going to stop, at this point somewhere and get a hotel and spend the night before I move on to my next destination. So I'm going to break it out by days. The other thing is if this is a day that I am doing a lot of filming on the road, I'm going to stop and I see something that's interesting that I want to show you guys, I am going to document what I did and what that footage is in my camera or in already on my computer, so that I know when I sit down to upload my YouTube video that I know where the footage is, what it is, what I'm planning. So this is going to help me plan out my videos and do, all of that information. So between having January 1st, knowing that I need to be out of a location, I need to be at this spot, I need to do this, or if I've got a tour planned for that day, this is my tour and all of that. I'm just going to put that information like a to-do list, and here is where I'm going to provide all the documentation and all of that. I hope this makes sense of what I'm going to use this for. I'm also going to track my stats in here. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to track my stats. I don't know if I'm going to track it in the weeks or if I'm going to track it in the daily. But this is the thing about stats. I want to know that I am reaching people who want to follow my channel. And the only way I can tell is that my subscriber count goes up or my subscriber count goes down. I also know that if my subscriber stays the same, then I need to increase the information that I am providing, whether that's a different style of video or adding something different, changing it, adding it, keeping it the same, whatever, and see how the channel grows. If I am not providing the information that the subscribers want, my subscriber count is going to go down. So I enjoy making videos, and that is something I want to do and I want to continue, and I want to share this you know, I share a big part of my life with you guys. It's just a snippet, but it is, for me, it's a big part. Um, because I don't share it with anybody else. But these are the things that I want to share with you guys, and I need to make sure, and the numbers will tell, is the information that I'm sharing with you, whether it's receptive and it's growing my channel or it's not. So I do need to track that. That is just life of being a YouTuber and somebody on Instagram. So that's pretty much how I'm going to use this. So it's going to be a lot of writing in here. Now, am I going to have a little bit of stickers in here? Probably. I know I like to use the monthly kits, and I love the stickers that Amanda has that you can use to block so many like monthly spots, and they're on her white removable paper. I will definitely use those for when I am in a location, but I'm going to go somewhere else to see things, or I'm driving. If it's a 2-day drive, I can block out the 2 days and put drive. So those kind of things. I know I'm going to use those. Here, I'm thinking I will probably use more clear matte stickers, because I don't want this to get so bulky that this first year is going to tell me how this planner is going to work. I will tell you right now, this is open a little further than midway. You can see it lays flat. I think the way it's made that it is going to hold up just as well as the other Hobonichis. That's my thought. The question was asked in one of my comments, do I feel like the paper feels different? I'm going to tell you, if anything, this feels a little slicker, if that makes any sense. It's more smooth. But the paper weight versus what I have in my 5-year and in my, the week's paper did not change. Let me look at my, the only difference I can feel in the paper, this may have a smoother finish to it. And maybe it's because I've heard other people say they feel like it's a little smoother. I can't, to be honest, I have been in the Hobonichi for 5 years. When I picked this up, my first thought, I didn't think that this paper felt any different. I'm just going to say it that way. If I stopped and feel of it, I mean, of course, I'm going to feel a difference because I'm thinking about it. It's a different paper, and my mind automatically goes there. That's what I'm thinking. But I do love this planner. I think it's going to be fun to use this on my travels. Now, my weeks. I took a sabbatical for 1 year from a weeks, and I went back this year because I really like the weeks. I have always loved the weeks. That's where I started, was a weeks, and then I started using the regular cousin in one book, and then I went to the cousin avec. I love the weeks. I don't even know why, and I don't know what it is, but it is like a calling to me every year to have a weeks. It just is. Now, this year I got the Makino cover. I am going to use it in here. I thought the red with this would be very pretty, and I do have a different cover that I could use, but I really have enjoyed using this. I never thought that I would buy red leather. Guys, I love this one. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to use that cover for this one this year. Now, with me being on the road so much, I am not going to be near my doctors if anything was to happen. So, a lot of this is going to be um, notes. So, in my notes sections first, we're going to go from the back to the front. So, in my notes section, I will keep a list of not only me but my mom. So, this will be split for my mom. I won't need as much because she is in a facility and they have all of her information. But the things that I do need to keep for her is things like her medications, her history of surgeries, her history, her medical history, that kind of thing, so that if I'm talking to her doctors, I will have that. So I will have a section for her. I will also have a section that's going to have all of her insurance information so that I have that at a drop of a hat. I can just pull this and get that information. So this is going to be tracking her doctors, her facility, all of that information for her. At the front, moving toward her, is going to be the same thing for me, guys. I'm not going to have my medical record. Yes, I have a medical record in an e-file that the doctors that I choose hopefully will be able to pull it to their system and be able to have it. But on the off chance that they're not, I want to have my medical information with me. So I will pull off that information and put it in this book, like the different not I don't have diseases, but I have medical history, AFib, and I have had a hip replacement. Those kind of things. I need surgeries and things like that. I need to have those listed. I also need to keep a list of my medications. It's not a lot, but it is a few medications that I have to have. I also have I wear glasses, so I need to make sure I know I have a number one, I have a prescription, which I would keep in this planner, which is another reason I want to use this one because it does have pockets that I can keep things in. So I know I need to keep a prescription for my glasses prescription in case something were to happen to my glasses. So things like that I need to track in here. The other thing I need to track is I am going to use this as a medical journal. So when I am in a location that I've never been, I do have allergies. When I was tested, the girl said, "You're lighting up like a Christmas tree." Um, but I'm allergic to, most all grass pollens, most tree pollens, most weeds. Um, um, I have hay, hay fever. Uh, that's all the different kinds of pollens that are out there. I'm allergic. Dust mites, mold. There was some other things that I was allergic to. So all of those things are going to be different in different locations, especially plants, because not all plants live in all parts of the country. So they're going to be different allergens in different places. And so I want to kind of track where I have more of an issue. Just so I know, because it might be that I need to go back on allergy medication. Right now, I take it only as I need it. And that's because I have been on allergy medication for so long, it really doesn't do anything for me. So it's those things that I want to track in here. If I start noticing an issue with my hip, I need to track that information. So when I'm back in my home state and my doctors, I can go and say, hey, this is going on. So it's those things that I need to track. I need to keep up with my blood pressure. I need to keep up with a lot of different things. When I get to my weeks and my page here, this is where I am going to track my AM meds, my PM meds. Um, did I exercise? Did I walk? Did I um what I had for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack. All of those things. I'm gonna have to track those things. Um I need to track up. Did something come up when, I was out, just all of a sudden I've noticed that, I am going into AFib more often. I have medication that controls it, but have I had issues with that? Have I had issues with whatever's going on? I'm looking at my notes to see what all I wanted in here. Um, I also, even though I'm going to have my insurance cards with me, I need to know what my insurance pays. So in the back, I will have a breakdown. And guys, part of my job at the hospital was knowing about insurances and what a deductible is co-insurance, co-pays, um, out of pocket expenses, in network, out network, all of that information. I used to have to keep up with that. And so I need to put all of that information here. So I know when I get sick, because it's going to happen, guys. You get sick on the road just like you get sick at home. I have all of that information. Information from my dentist, information from my eyes, information, all of that stuff. I need to have some of that information to put my hands on. So that's what this is all going to be about. But over here, I want to track how I'm sleeping, how much I'm sleeping. Um, I want to track my meals because I want to lose weight, and that's going to be part of it. So this is what these are going to be, is mostly trackers. Um, I have been using this section this year to keep up with my steps. I'm going to continue that again this year. These are strictly going to be for appointments. Um, if I'm tracking something that is come up, let's say I have noticed my blood pressure's high, I am going to track on here those days. So this is not going to get used as much as some things. Um, this part and the notes pages is going to be used the most. So this is going to be strictly a health journal. And then we have my Avec. I am going to continue using my Gillio cover this year. I have been using it. I know that I can fill it up with stickers and it works. And I can do all of those things. And I'm going to continue to do that. I am still going to continue to use stickers in it. I am going to use this cover. I love having all of my die cut stickers from Amanda in here. I love this cover. I'm going to continue using it. And I am going to use these as I have always done. I am going to plan out my week. I'm still going to have chores on the road. I am still going to have to clean my kitchen after I cook. I'm still going to have to make appointments on the road for, different things. That's what this is going to be for. This is going to be my everyday life things. Um, you know, check in with Christopher and Emma, check in with my sister-in-law Lisa, payday, the bills are due. All of those things I'm still going to have to keep up with, and I'm going to keep up with them in here. The only thing that and I don't know yet in my mind, and I'm not going to know until I get on the road. I don't know how I'm going to use the daily pages. I think that I am going to use these more as a journaling page than I am for um, a to-do list and a journal. If it's a day that I don't go anywhere and I'm at home and I'm doing things there, I may use this as a to-do list, like clean the back. Because, guys, I'm in an Airbnb, but I still have to maintain it while I'm in there. So I'm still going to have to clean the bathroom. I'm still going to have to clean the kitchen. I'm still going to have all of those things to do. Those are going to be in here. And this is going to be my everyday life stuff. So I just want to have a separation between my everyday, my travel plans, and my health. So the only thing that's not going to be in here is my traveling. Now, when I travel with Jan, that's probably going in here and not in my travel planner, because my travel planner is for me on the road and what I'm doing right now. Um, this is where, when there's appointments for my mom, or there's an issue comes up with my mom, it's going in here. I will keep her information in my weeks that has her health information. But if they call me and say, hey, just letting you know, this is what we've noticed, she has had a change, I'm going to document that in here, um, because I need to know immediately what's going on. So if I need to leave in a location and go back home, I can. It's going to be those kind of things. But this is going to be my everyday life. And I haven't made a decision yet how I'm going to use these. I want to use these. I don't know how I'm going to use them yet, but I am going to figure that out. My monthly here is going to be still like I do it right now. When is Amanda's releases? When are the holidays? Whose birthdays? When I'll put my payday in here. All of those things are going to stay the same. So I will use those. And then my weeks, I'm just going to set it up as my to-dos like I have been doing. I'll still have phone calls to make. I'll still have people I need to check in with. I will still, you know, have my chores. So that's what this is going to be. Guys, I cannot wait to do a setup video. Um, I had thought that I would pull out my sticker kits that I have and see if they fit, and make sure that everything is going to fit like I anticipate that it will. Amanda's on top of it. I know she's done the measurements and she's going to know if any sizes needs to be changed, but I cannot wait to go ahead and start setting these planners up for next year. Guys, I'm putting all my eggs in a basket and I'm heading out, and I want to travel. It's something I have dreamed of for so long, and I'm hoping this dream and this season of life is going to be a good one, and it's going to be exactly what I hoped it would be. So guys, I hope you found this interesting, helpful, um, or just fun. And until next time, guys, bye bye.